Hi, this is Jim Cramer with our energy expert, Dan Dicker, who has been on the hot seat and making a lot of right calls. Dan, I'm seeing letter U, I'm seeing letter V, I'm seeing Citi saying
W.
A W.
W.
Give me that letter. That's a new one. I want it.
W. Ed Morse is at Citi. The W move. So the move up that we had last week,
right.
That's the first half of the W, and then there's a retracement back down, of course,
but
$20.
His is a lopsided W in that we're going to take out the 43.44.
Exactly, and I think some of these guys, you know, if you want to give me some credit for something, I mean, I was the guy who was on CNBC when the market was going $52, $53, saying that this was a bit overdone,
right.
and that
there was no way we'd see a 6 handle. Do you think we're going to hold the 43 of January 28th?
I think that we've taken out. I think that this rally, and I've said this before, I think this rally of the last week and a half took some of the steam away from some of the shorts and some of the silliness numbers that were percolating in the market, and that includes Citi's 20. I think that's entirely a silly number. The world literally falls apart. There are countries that go into full-blown civil war.
Not going to happen.
It can't happen.
I think not going to see 100, not going to see 20.
We're talking about Armageddon numbers, oil-inspired Armageddon numbers.
You know, sometimes when people are all over the map and your fundamentals, I think there's a big glut coming. I think it's a big quarter. I like to actually bring in everybody, and I happen to love and respect Carolyn Broden's work. I'm not a Fibonacci guy, but she did demonstrate, listen, if we could ever have this kind of up move, then we would get that W part.
Right.
But then she thinks it can come back down, and I know that there were people, Jim Cramer on Twitter, saying, Jim, you know, you listen to technicians, what's that? I listen to everybody, because you have to listen to everybody.
Right.
But she's saying that, look, she thinks that 43, 45 level can hold. Rich Kinder, in an interview that I did, Kinder Morgan, said, listen, oil belongs at 60, basically. I come back and I say, I agree with you. 20 is Armageddon. Can we take out 43, maybe a couple bucks, because there's so much supply coming on? But in the end, I think that we should begin to pick again at oils as it comes down. I did not feel that way last time. We didn't buy any fractional orders last time. This is different.
I felt, and I came on with you, and I felt that there was money to be made, but I think that the easy money, the easy rebound money in some of these very high beta stocks.
Like a Whiting?
Exactly, has been made, like in an Oasis, like in any of the high beta names. I
like that call.
I do not want people picking at these, because here's what's going to happen. The second phase of this shale bust requires some recapitalization and increased acceleration.
And we haven't seen those.
We've seen some. We've seen Bonanza Creek. We've seen Southwestern. We've seen, to a certain degree, Emerald Oil, which was shocking that they found money. But what we're going to see is we're going to see others. We're going to see Whiting, because they could use it. We're going to, I think we should see Continental.
How about Continental?
I think we're going to see Range Resources.
Why was Kinder able to steal that asset from him?
That's because they are leveraged and they took off all their hedges. And I don't know whether the ego of Harold Hamm is large enough that he won't allow a secondary, but he could use one. He could easily get it done, and he would sustain himself as the premier Bakken player by doing it. I don't know if he will. But these are, because there's so many secondaries, recapitalizations coming in, these guys are going to be under pressure until some of this.
Then I think we have to, you can buy,
you got to wait on them.
Down, but
this is not the time.
Yeah, but not
That's
to those.
the takeaway.
We'll go back to Royal Dutch. We were talking about Oxy, Jack.
Exactly. In the oil space, it's the E&Ps. There was a moment where you could catch that, rebound move,
and that moment is now passed.
And that moment is now passed.
Thank you, Dan Dicker.
Right.